In last chapter 5 we sailed the 80 nautical miles from Skaupstadir to Vopnafjordur in everything from dense fog to challenging winds.
It's peaking 24 knots and that's too much.
In this chapter 6 we will proceed to Iceland's most northerly and remote village of Raufarhofn to take a little rest before we take on the last leg on Iceland to the beautiful village of Husavik. We will here enjoy some calm days, waiting for the right conditions to set off towards the dangerous, icy waters and main goal on this expedition, the world's largest fjord system, the Scoresby Sound on Greenland. This is Expedition Greenland. The fog had cleared for a while, leaving Vopnafjordur bathing in sunlight from a clear sky. It was finally time for the last Icelandic leg, before setting off into the unknown. Good morning and welcome to another video, sailing from beautiful Vopnafjordur and all the way around Langaneset to Raufarhofn. And I've been in Raufarhofn before, and it's a beautiful isolated place, and I love those tiny isolated places because that's what I'm looking for at my expeditions, to go where most don't. And we are getting close to Greenland now. Raufarhofn, next destination, is the last one before Husavik, which is the really last one on Iceland. That's on North Iceland, and that's where I'm going from to get to Kortumit in Greenland. But still, it's a lot of ice around the coast of Greenland, so we probably have to wait it out for some days in Husavik. But now Tessie is ready for another 80 nautical miles. I just filled some diesel on her, so we have for the heating apparatus. I hope we don't need to go for engine too much. I hope we can sail. I think we can sail almost all the way if we're lucky. So let's go. We were on our way again.
Bye, Vopnafjord. Nice to see you. Maybe I'll see you again.
Despite the nice weather, I was starting to feel worried. In a few days I was about to leave the comfort and safety of the Icelandic coast, entering the vast, freezing Greenland Sea completely alone.
It's starting to blow 10 knots, so we just need to get a little bit more outside and we can raise the sails. It's getting a little choppy, so it's best to go from there.
The little man on my shoulder started to make me ask myself, why am I doing this? Why am I putting myself to risk like this? Why can't I just enjoy the safe sailing in normal environments, knowing that I will get safely back home? To be honest, I don't have any perfect answer to this. It feels like a magnet pulling me in this direction, outside my control. And I tend to follow it, as I both fear and love the feeling, just to see if I'm capable of seeing it through. It's about taking what you love to do and stretch it as far as your imagination can bear it. And then go for it.
So that's us, and suddenly engulfed in fog again. It's maybe 150 meters to sea in front and around us. It's not much, but the radar is on and they're keeping a lookout. It's weird how fast things changes around here. From blue sky to this.
Just out there, a half a mile away, hiding in the fog, was the vast endpoint of Langaneset. If you clear away the fog, the majestic point is a spectacular sight. But today we just had to take what was given.
So we passed Langanese now. It's just over here and we got around it safely without any big ocean current waves stopping us. And now we will proceed this way. This is Raufarhofn, and I think I will hoist the Jennaker on a little bit. That can be interesting. So while we wait for the winds to occur, let's enjoy some ham and cheese. And some sparkling water. Alright, so I am now prepared Jennaker for hoisting. So let's see how this goes now. I'm going downwind by engine and mainsail. 15 knots of wind. Let's see what happens when you hoist it. So far so good. Alright. You little rascal of a sail.
Shutting the engine off, letting the wind powers take over, always makes for a good day. To stay busy, I love to feel the power of the boat.
That looks better.
By relieving the autopilot and grab the wheel.
So cool to steer by hand with the Jennaker. You need to be so focused. Wow, 7.5.
But here around Iceland, I've learned that things can change fast.
Alright, the wind died out then. I'll take in the sail.
With no other choice than starting the iron horse back up, we proceeded through the fog, finding other ways to keep busy. And suddenly things changed again.
Alright, so suddenly the wind came back. This is on and off all the time. But now of course the Jennaker is starting to flop around. Getting the hang of it now. That was the best one so far.
With only a few miles left, I started looking for the cliffs at the entrance of Raufarhofn. I had to come really close before the rocks slowly emerged out of the fog. Now we were eventually back in Arctic latitudes.
So welcome to Raufarhofn. Good to be back. Beautiful.
With the symbol of Norse mythology, the Arctic henge, watching over Iceland's northernmost village Raufarhofn, there is no doubt we are getting close to our final goal. The village also sits very close to the Arctic Circle as a fresh reminder on what kind of waters we have entered. Suddenly I realized I was back where I left 2 years ago on last attempt. It became very clear I had to take a choice from here on what moves to make next.
Alright, so that was it. Another 77 nautical miles on one day done. And there's one more to Husavik. There's one more to the last port of call before the big Greenland adventure. And I am going to be honest, I can feel the anxiety building up. It's like starting from Haugesund was no problem because I'm so well known around the islands on Shetland and Faroe Islands. But once you get higher latitude to Iceland and you're actually starting to reach where your fear is lying, and that is in Husavik when I'm taking off to Greenland, everything gets very real.
I'm not a very religious soul, but as I went into sleep that night, I must admit I wished for whatever energy is out there to maybe keep a little eye on me the next coming days. A
big storm raged the region for 3 days straight. I spent my time strolling around the streets in howling wind and rain. I enjoyed the remoteness and calmness of the village, giving me plenty of time to gather my thoughts and build courage for whatever was to come. Eventually the wind turned around and I could start preparing for the last remaining leg before the big one.
Alright, so it's Tuesday, 23rd of July, 9:30, and the wind has come down. There was a big storm here raging for 2 days, but now we're ready to go again. And next stop and last stop on Iceland will now be Husavik, and that's 60 nautical miles away or 10 hours sailing. So me, Tessie and Tiger is ready. So
yes, reality started checking in again, but now it was only one way.
So let's start the engine and let's go.
Feelings are nice, but sometimes you have to put them on hold to give way for what you believe in. And I believed we were going to make it this time. Nothing in my mind would stop me this time.
Alright, bye for now, Raufarhofn. I love you. Thank you for your hospitality, and I will probably see you soon. You never know.
Fear is only a weightless feeling you can fully control if you decide to.
Perfecto. It's a little bit chilly out there in this Arctic environment, so I need to dress up a little bit.
Winds pushed us rapidly westwards, until it changed direction, not surprisingly.
Okay, so we're heading downwind now, and I think we need some generator sailing again. It's incredible. There, you see the tail of it. Oh, there we go. Alright, so that's a lot better. And now, in a few minutes, we have to jibe, because we're actually going down in that direction. And the swells out here is kind of big because of the storm raging here a couple of days ago. So now I have to jibe the generator. I'm going this way, so I need to furl in the sail, change the course, take the sheet onto the starboard side of the boat, and then unfurl it again. So it's quite a job. Everything's easy in light winds. Okay, sheet on the other side. This is a smart one. I have to fasten it in the cockpit. And then unfurl the generator on this side. It only takes a lot of practice.
It turned out to be a beautiful day as we followed along the rugged north coast. To keep the energy going, I made myself some egg and bacon, together with the ocean view surrounding me.
Alright, let's enjoy some egg and bacon. My boom brake suddenly fell off, and this bolt unscrewed itself from the shackle. There we go.
And we just crossed the Arctic Circle, or the Polar Circle. And that goes on 66 degrees and 33 minutes north. That's pretty awesome. We are officially in Arctic waters. Doesn't seem like it, but we are.
After 5 hours of sailing, a very special endpoint of land got more and more visible. I altered my course to have a closer look at the oddly shaped formations.
So let's take a closer look at it as we pass by.
Cape Raudinupur is one of Iceland's northernmost points. The peninsula is a very remote and deserted piece of land. But that's until you look a little closer. On these two stacks, sitting at the far end of the cape, life is vivid as hundreds of gannets, Arctic terns, kittiwakes, and many other species of seabirds nests and feed in colonies on the shelves of the two rocks. It never stops to amaze me how much of life is to be found, being oblivious to these amazing creations from a distance on board a small boat.
Wow, that was beautiful. So insane to see those crazy concentrations of those beautiful gannets. Alright, so let's proceed towards Husavik. It's not too far left now, it's 30 miles or something. Let's go. There's very little wind now, so the mainsail is just making a lot of noise. Let's take it down. Boom. Perfect. And believe it or not, also the mainsail sheet bolt went out. 2 on one day. That's not bad. Me and Tiger just passed the Aanderaa over here. Incredible rocks with a lot of birds, so I was kind of afraid that the birds would catch my drone, but still alive, so check it out.
Aanderaa is a conspicuous volcanic rock sitting 5 miles off the coast of North Iceland. It is home for another thousands of seabirds nesting and feeding off the rich surrounding waters. A big cave goes through the rock, which maybe also contributes to attract and protect all the wildlife out to this location. Overlooking the Aanderaa is the long mountain range which draws the background for our destination.
Yeah, beautiful, and we have 3 hours to go now to Husavik, so we're getting close. We are coming into closer to the mountains now, and the real big mountains of Iceland. And I'm looking really forward to get into port now and have a meal at maybe a fish and chips shop or something. I don't know what's there.
Close your eyes, fill your head, rest your body on the bed, dream of roads that lie ahead.
Just past another one of those beautiful rocks sticking up off the ocean in the middle of nowhere. But now we finally enter Husavik. You can see the lighthouse there. Beautiful scenery. I'm ready to get inside.
I'll turn every wrong to right.
So there it was, my final port on Iceland, Husavik. It was both satisfying and frightening at the same time, as this was the real deal before setting off into new unknown horizons across the Greenland Sea.
Stay here, is it okay?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Probably in the meanwhile until I tell you otherwise.
All that was left to be done now was to settle down and prepare myself, Tessie and Tiger for a very long and challenging journey.
Wow, so this is Husavik, and what a beautiful port with all those beautiful vessels lying around here. And this is gonna be me the next days until I can find a weather window and to see that the ice conditions are good enough and safe enough to depart from Husavik to Greenland. I cannot wait. My heart is pounding just speaking about it. So yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.
Next morning I needed to get my thoughts elsewhere and visited Husavik Whale Museum, which is situated here in connection with the waters outside Husavik being a hotspot for whale watching. And that's where I got lucky. I got invited on board the beautiful schooner Hildur by my good friend Sean, which is one of the crews on board. Hildur is taking passengers out for whale spotting in the area outside Husavik.
Okay, up again, 1 o'clock.
And it didn't take long before the first whales broke the surface. A big pack of humpback whales started occurring everywhere around the boat. I've never been this close to such large animals. With long pectoral fins and tubercles on their head, they are easy to spot away from other species. A full-grown humpback can get over 16 meters long and weigh up to 40 tons. They can live as long as a human, up to 90 years old, and can reach depths up to 200 meters. With dives lasting up to 30 minutes before they surface for fresh air. They are intelligent and curious, and mainly hunt in packs for krill and small fish. It was time to head back, and fortunately the winds were perfect to hoist the 5 huge sails to get us back to port. Sean instructed me on the halyards to lift the boom and sails up the big wooden masts. With no winches, it's all manual work to prepare the ship for sailing. It took some time to get it all right, but before you knew it, the ship picked up speed, doing over 7 knots with the course steady towards Husavik. This was my first time ever sailing on a wooden sailship. I was blown away how fast and effective the big heavy hull cut through the sea with the help of the massive rig. Hildur is built for the big oceans, and I could only imagine how it would be to experience new land with this great piece of solid engineering. But reality was checking in again, and we were suddenly back in port. Now I had my own adventure to prepare.
that was it. Another video done. And I hope you enjoyed it as usual. And thank you so much for the support on Patreon and PayPal. And thank you so much for all the support as well on Facebook and Instagram. And of course, thank you so much for all of you buying my NBJS merchandise. It helps a lot, and what also helps is if you subscribe to my channel and leave a like and a comment, and it helps me tremendously. Alright, I will see you in the next video. Thanks.
Oh, I almost forgot. For NBJS burges or lectures, contact me on post@nbjs.no. In next chapter 6, we are finally setting off towards our main goal across the Greenland Sea for 300 miles, to the world's largest fjord system, Scoresby Sound on Greenland.
You don't know what you're heading into here. That's the definition of adventure, I guess.
Without any sleep for over 50 hours,
Look at the ice rigs here, coming closer and closer to me.
I found my way through the ice
Look at this.
until I reached the coast outside Itokortomit. But I was up for a good surprise.
I don't have the food and water on board to do that and sit and wait.
See you in the next one. Erik.